Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last section of Chapter 6, and this is very important as well. So, some of the plans that you're going to get into with some financial advisors that you're going to go through are going to entail some of these plans. Like for me specifically, I have a 403B, which is a Roth IRA. And we're going to talk a little about that. And basically, what we do is we hire people to sometimes how they work is they make commission off of the money that you give them, okay? They can either do that or they can take in a percentage for each investment that they throw in. So they take, around 7% for each trade, whatever it may be in the stock market. So now that we know how the stock market works a little bit, okay, and we have a little bit of an overview, we hire financial advisors to do these things for us. And this is how you're going to basically make your retirement when you get your job. And it's very important to get one of these when you're young and you have the money that's going to be accessible to you if you take the correct steps, like we talked about in our budget plan, limiting student debt, not going into credit card debt. You do those things and it takes away from this, takes away from you being able to live a life after you retire, takes away from you being able to live a life while you're working, takes away everything. And you guys want to have good lives financially. So let's talk a little bit about this. If you make the right steps and you start saving wisely, a couple things that you'll be able to do is you'll be able to invest for your retirement. And these investments are very good, and it's there. It's real value. It will contribute to your wealth. Okay, so when you go to apply for a mortgage, they'll take into consideration your savings and your investment accounts. Okay, and that all contributes to you being able to get a higher loan for your home, for your car, whatever it may be. So when you're investing, it's never a bad thing. Okay, so just remember that. So when we do these things and we go with financial advisors, um, very few of us will do this by ourselves because it's very difficult to do this. So we hire professionals. We will have pension plans, and these are basically company-supported plans to save for retirement. And there's a couple different versions of them. And the first one that I'm going to talk about are 401ks. And this is a common pension plan where a portion of your paycheck is withheld, and the company, okay, matches the amount and invests in stocks and bonds for you. So, for example, you get a job at a business, they may have a company option for a 401k, specific 401k, where they will match however much you put in. So they'll match it or they'll match half of it. It may, whatever it may be, you throw 50, they'll throw 50 in. You throw 50, they throw 25, and the company will do that and save for your investment. So it's very important that you start young and you throw as much as you can in at first because the more as it grows in your modules that you guys learned about, the more compound interest you're going to be able to make on that. So the more that's in there, well, 6% of $40,000 is going to be more, okay, as opposed to 6% of $10,000. So it's going to, the more that's in there, the more it's going to grow. So you guys have to understand that. So you will kind of want to rush when you're younger to get as much as you can in, okay? As long as you don't exceed a certain amount of savings, you don't have to pay taxes on the amount you put in until you withdraw the funds at the end of your retirement. So the great thing about saving for retirement is you're not paying in income tax on it. The federal government is not going to tax your income. Therefore, if you take it out and the company matches it, it's a great deal for retirement for you because you don't have to pay income tax. So let's say you take 1,000 out of your paycheck. That's, for over 12 months, that's $12,000 less you have to pay income tax on. Okay, which is a great version if you have the money accessible to you. A COEG plan uh, allows people who are self-employed to set aside a maximum of 25% of their income and then deduct that amount from their yearly taxable income. Once again, when you save for retirement, if you're saving into these plans, company plans, your own plans, you sign up for them, financial advisor gets you them, you usually don't have to pay income tax on it, okay? Now, if you do a base individual retirement account, IRA, so we're talking about 401ks, you can contribute about up to $5,000 a year and deduct those contributions once again from taxable income. Now, just because you're not paying income tax on them, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay tax at all on it. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to pay income tax, but you are going to pay some sort of tax on them. So be aware of that. So the tax you're going to pay in an IRA, and this is on your exam, is going to be post-tax. So let's say you're 65 years old, you're ready to take out your 401k IRA out, and you have $500,000 saved in there. Well, that is going to get taxed as a lump sum. Okay, whatever that may be, that tax amount, that's going to get taxed as a lump sum. And I want you guys to understand that. So that's what we call a post-tax. So individual regular IRAs have what we call a post-tax. All right. The money you put in is not taxed either until you take it out at the end of the year. Now, what's the positives about that? Well, it's going to grow. It's going to grow more, okay, because it's not getting taxed. All right. But once again, it's going to get taxed as a lump sum. So you're going to get more tax taking out of it at the end. It's going to grow more, but more tax is going to come out at the end. Now, you guys kind of have to decide which one you want to do. You want to do the one that gets post-tax, that's going to grow because you're going to have more money in it, or you want to do the Roth IRA. I specifically like the Roth IRA better. Some of your parents may like the IRA. You kind of have to talk to your financial advisor about this. You can put up to $5,000 a year, but you do not get to deduct from your taxable income. So it's going to be what we call pre-tax. The difference is that all the interest you earn on the Roth IRA is tax-free. So you're going to pay income tax on the Roth IRA, and we call it pre-tax. So let's say you have $500,000 in there at the end when you're 65 years old and you're ready to retire. Well, guess what? That's the exact amount you're getting out because you paid income tax on every single thing, okay, in a Roth that you've been paying on your whole life. That's the difference. Okay, so you've already paid the tax on all this that's gone in there. And this retirement account is in there, and you know exactly how much is in there. That's the difference. So the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA is a regular IRA is post-tax, and a Roth IRA is pre-tax. We call it pre-tax because you're getting taxed on your income, okay, with it. Real estate is an investment. Investing in real estate is always a good idea because real estate appreciates as long as you buy the correct house. And real estate, like my mind, is always worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So buying real estate, such as land and buildings, is another form of investing your money. That's always going to be taken into consideration when you're buying different things. You can use it as collateral for automobiles and whatever you may do. Resale values have soared at times, okay, and this is a good time to sell. Now, when you sell during these times, it's going to be a little more difficult for you to find a place if you want to buy a place because everything's going to be inflated. Buying a home is usually a good investment for the long run. Buying raw or underdeveloped land is usually more risky. Remember that. No one can guarantee that there will be a demand in the future for a particular piece of land. So keep that in mind. So a lot of people will buy a chunk of land with the hopes that they can sell it to develop that land as far as putting a suburb in there or whatever it may be. Sometimes real property for sale stays on the market for long periods of time. The average house takes 3 months to sell. So the average house takes 90 days to sell on average. 90 days. That's a long time, 3 months, okay? This difficulty in getting cash for your investment is one of the trade-offs involved when investing in real estate. Okay, so it's a gamble. How much to save and invest? How much of your savings should you risk in your investment? It's impossible to make high return rates unless you risk a lot of money. So that's the thing with investing. Throwing money into our 401k or 403b Roth IRA is risky. So the more money you throw in, it's determining you're investing into the stock market. Your financial advisors are investing in the stock market. If the stock market crashes, if you watch it every day and it crashes, there's a good chance that you're losing money at that point in time. But over the long run, okay, your investment will increase by hopefully 6% a year. Okay, so it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. 6% is really what you try to make on it per year. If you have debt, you may want to try to pay that off until you start diverting funds in your savings plan account. You should not be throwing money into your savings plans until you have paid off your debt. There's no question about it. You shouldn't be saving money if you're in debt. You should be doing the debt snowball method that we talked about from the previous chapter. So depending on where you're at in your life, you want to try to get to this point as fast as you can. You want to live a clean life. I'm talking about next year for you guys, making wise decisions, and everybody's like, oh, well, you're too young to make decisions. That is completely not true. You are going to be in a year or a year and a half from now making the biggest decisions of your life, okay? And you need to know about this, okay? You go to a college and you make a mistake and you don't graduate on time, every time that you go to class and every year you go to class, you're causing yourself whatever the tuition is, whatever the meal plan is, whatever the dorm rate is, or if you're not getting some kind of scholarship. Tread very carefully because after 6 months, after you graduate or you stop going to school, there will be a check, and not a check, there will be a bill in your mail that says you owe this. And if you don't owe it, okay, they are going to come after you. Now you're in trouble. Okay, and if you don't have a degree or you don't have something or a backup plan for yourself, or you don't go to tech school, you don't go to uh, specialize in a trade, you don't go into the military, you don't go to a four-year university, what are you going to do? It's going to be very difficult to pay for 2 years of college on a minimum wage salary. So be very careful how you tread, know a plan, have a goal before you go in to do these things, and before you make a big time, lifetime decision to go to school. Make sure that you're going to do these things, you're going to do them right. No matter how you did in high school, you're going to put your head down if you can get accepted, and you're going to go do these things. Another avenue is community college. There's so many avenues that you can take to not have to pay as much money, okay? Like I said, I shared a kid that was in my class. He went into the ROTC program. They're paying him money, plus he's graduating on a full ride from Allegheny because he went into the ROTC. Plus he told me he's making anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000 a year on top of that. Okay, right now while he's in college. Plus he's getting a full ride. Plus he's majoring in pre-law. He's going to do really well for himself. Now, there's only a specific type of person that can do that. If you know you're not one of those and you can't do it, then don't do it. Okay? Now, but he set himself up for pretty good making money here in the future. He's going to live a very good life. Okay? Spreading out your investments, investing your money into several different accounts helps you lower your risk. And that's what a financial advisor will do for you. He will diversify your funds. He will put some of your money in bonds that are guaranteed to make money. And you can sit down and discuss this with him or her. You can tell them, hey, I want low risk, and maybe instead of trying to get that 6%, they only get like a 2% increase per year. But you know you're going to make that money. So that's up to them. Make sure to invest wisely. Make sure that you have somebody that you can trust that's a financial advisor. Talk to your friends who they go through. It's always good to have a financial buddy. I talk to my buddy who is my financial advisor. He happens to be my best friend. He knows every single thing that goes on in my financial life, and I share with him openly, candid, and he professionally does not share that with nobody else. I also talk to my father. It's good to have a buddy that you talk to. If you have a friend that you trust, if you have your mom or dad that you trust, that you want to, you think that your mom or dad did a real good job investing their money, to bounce things off them and tell them where you're at and have them kind of school you and different things like that. Like my dad will do that for me. And my best friend does that for me. He's my financial advisor as well. And I actually switched financial advisors to go with him because I trust him and I wanted to go through him with my retirement. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please shoot me a message through Schoology. You will have a little study guide activity here, and then you will have a test the day after that. So make sure that you're studying, make sure you're keeping up on your stuff for Chapter 6 with all the different PowerPoints that we did. Make sure you go through them. Make sure you watch all of them. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble. All right, guys, have a nice day. I'll talk to you in a little bit.